heads with her record-breaking performances, but what if I told you she's now making waves in a completely different sport? Yes, you heard that right. Caitlyn Clark has stepped onto the golf course, and what she's doing there is nothing short of jaw-dropping. Her recent appearance at the LPGA Pro-Am tournament has left fans, critics, and even seasoned golf professionals utterly speechless. Imagine there's a WNBA star not just dabbling in golf, but showing skills that rival some of the best amateurs, and she's doing it with a level of confidence that screams, I can master any sport. It's no wonder the buzz around her is louder than ever, but this isn't just about her surprising talent. It's about how she's redefining what it means to be a multiple athlete. So let's dive right in. The story begins at Pelican Golf Club in Florida, where Caitlyn joined the prestigious Pro-Am event hosted by none other than Annika Sorenstam, a legend in women's golf. Paired with world #1 golfer Nelly Korda, Caitlyn didn't just participate, she captivated. Crowds swarmed the event, making it look more like the final day of a major tournament than a casual Pro-Am. By 7:00 a.m., the energy was electric, with fans lining up just to catch a glimpse of her, and what followed was nothing short of extraordinary. From her first tee shot, it was clear that Caitlyn wasn't here to play casually. Sure, she's no professional golfer, but her presence on the course was magnetic. The first few holes revealed a player who, while not perfect, had a solid grasp of the game. Her approach shots landed gracefully on the greens, and her putting was surprisingly sharp. But let's not sugarcoat it, there were moments of chaos. Too early in her round, Caitlyn pulled a drive that narrowly missed hitting a spectator and splashed into the water hazard. For a second, you could feel the tension in the air. Was the pressure of performing in front of such a large crowd getting to her W? I think from the standpoint of understanding the impact that she's had not only on golf but women's sports in general, and played in a men's tournament, it's pretty incredible. And just like one of those trailblazers, and challenges herself every single day, but also just like the joy that she exudes. But here's the thing about Caitlyn Clark, she thrives under pressure. Instead of letting that moment derail her, she bounced back with an impressive iron shot that landed her ball within inches of the pin on the very next hole. It's the kind of resilience you'd expect from someone who's used to sinking buzzer beaters in high-stakes basketball games. What's fascinating about Caitlyn's golf game is her versatility. You can tell she approaches golf with the same mindset she brings to basketball: precision, strategy, and an unshakable competitive spirit. On one hole, she sank a long putt from 20 foot out, and the crowd erupted in applause. Even the pros in her group couldn't help but be impressed. Annika Sorenstam herself commented on Caitlyn's natural athleticism, saying she's got the mindset of a champion. It's no surprise she can excel at more than one sport. But not everyone was thrilled about Caitlyn stealing the spotlight. Traditionalists in the golf world questioned whether her participation was a distraction from the real competition. Some even argued that her presence overshadowed the professional golfers who had dedicated their lives to the sport. It's a valid point, but here's the counter-argument.
Understanding the impact that she's had not only on golf but women's sports in general. Played in a men's tournament. It's pretty incredible. Just like one of those trailblazers, and challenges herself every single day, but also just like the joy that she exudes.
Caitlyn's participation brought an unprecedented level of attention to the event. Golf Channel adjusted its programming to showcase her round, starting coverage 90 minutes earlier than usual. The influx of viewers, many of whom might never have tuned into a golf tournament otherwise, was undeniable proof of Caitlyn's star power. And then there's the impact she had on the fans. For many in the crowd, this wasn't just about golf, it was about witnessing a cultural moment. Caitlyn Clark, a superstar in basketball, was now proving that her talents and influence could transcend sports. Fans followed her from hole to hole, creating an atmosphere that felt more like a playoff basketball game than a quiet day on the course. She signed autographs, posed for photos, and even took a moment to share how her love for golf began. My dad got me into golf when I was young, she said, her smile lighting up the crowd. It's always been something I've enjoyed, but I never thought I'd be playing alongside legends like Nelly and Annika. Speaking of legends, Caitlyn's pairing with Nelly Korda and Annika Sorenstam was a story in itself. These are women who have reached the pinnacle of golf, and here they were sharing the course with a basketball player. But what stood out wasn't the contrast, it was the camaraderie. Nelly, known for her calm demeanor and laser-focused game, was visibly impressed by Caitlyn's ability to adapt to the high-pressure environment. She's a natural competitor. Nelly said you can see it in the way she approaches every shot. It's not about being perfect, it's about being determined. And then there was Annika, who joined Caitlyn for the back nine. Watching these two interact was like witnessing a masterclass in sportsmanship. Annika, ever the mentor, offered tips and encouragement, while Caitlyn soaked it all in like a sponge. The highlight of their partnership came on the 12th hole when Caitlyn nailed a tricky putt after following Annak's advice on reading the green. It was a small moment, but one that perfectly captured the spirit of the day: learning, growing, and breaking boundaries. By the end of her round, Caitlyn had not only gained the respect of her peers, but also reignited a conversation about the crossover potential of athletes. Could Caitlin Clark be paving the way for more multisport stars? It's a question worth pondering. Her performance at the Enuka wasn't just a one-off event, it was a statement. Caitlyn showed that talent, hard work, and a willingness to step out of your comfort zone can lead to extraordinary results. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Caitlyn is first and foremost a basketball player, and she's made it clear that her heart belongs to the WNBA. Still, her foray into golf has opened new doors, and fans are already speculating about her next move. Will she continue to participate in pro events? Could she compete in amateur tournaments? The possibilities are endless, and knowing Caitlyn, she's probably already setting her sights on her next challenge. Caitlyn Clark's golf debut at the LPGA Pro-Am has ignited a firestorm of reactions, debates, and possibilities. From her skill on the course to the ripple effects of her crossover appeal, there's so much more to unpack. In this extended exploration, we'll dive deeper into the implications of her performance, the challenges of pursuing two sports, and the broader impact she's having on women's athletics. Let's continue the journey and uncover what Caitlyn's golf adventure means for the world of sports. Caitlyn's appearance at the Enuka wasn't just a momentary spectacle, it was a cultural shift. For decades, women's sports have battled for visibility and respect, often overshadowed by their male counterparts. But Caitlyn's star power is rewriting that narrative. Her ability to draw massive crowds and media attention to a golf tournament, a sport where she's a relative novice, is a testament to her influence. It also underscores the untapped potential of women's sports when given the right platform. One of the most striking aspects of Caitlyn's performance was her ability to hold her own in a sport that's notoriously difficult. Golf isn't just about power or precision, it's a mental game that requires focus, patience, and adaptability. For Caitlyn, who's accustomed to the fast-paced action of basketball, the slower, more deliberate rhythm of golf presented a unique challenge, and yet she adapted seamlessly. Her performance during the back nine, where she played alongside Annika Sorenstam, was particularly telling. Annika, a 10-time major champion, is a living legend in the sport. Sharing the course with her would be intimidating for most players, let alone a basketball star dabbling in golf. But Caitlyn approached the experience with her trademark confidence. When Annika offered tips on reading greens and perfecting her stance, Caitlyn listened, intently absorbing every piece of advice like a seasoned pro. By the end of the round, Anuka was full of praise for Caitlyn's composure and natural athleticism. This raises an interesting question. Could Caitlyn's basketball background actually give her an edge in golf? At first glance, the two sports couldn't be more different. Basketball is all about speed, agility, and explosive movements, while golf requires precision, control, and a steady hand. But dig a little deeper and the parallels become clear. Both sports demand an acute sense of spatial awareness, the ability to perform under pressure, and an unwavering focus on the task at hand. Caitlyn's success on the basketball court has undoubtedly equipped her with these skills, which translate surprisingly well to the golf course. However, excelling in two sports isn't just about transferable skills, it's about time and dedication. Golf, like basketball, requires countless hours of practice to master. For Caitlyn, who's already juggling the demands of a WNBA career, finding time to pursue golf seriously would be a monumental